Exodus chapter 36. And Bezaleel prepared, and Aholiab, and all wise in the thought, in whom was given wisdom and higher knowledge, for them to perceive to do all the works, being fit for the holies, according to all as much as the Lord ordered. And Moses called Bezaleel and Aholiab, and all the ones having the wisdom, to whom God gave higher knowledge in the heart, and all of the ones voluntarily willing to go to the works so as to complete them. And they took from Moses all the choice portion offerings which the sons of Israel brought for all the works of the holy place to prepare them. And they favorably received still the things being brought from the ones bringing morning by morning. And all the wise ones came, the ones doing the works of the holy place, each according to his own work, which they worked. And they said to Moses that the people bring a multitude for the works, as much as the Lord ordered to do. And Moses assigned and proclaimed in the camp, saying, Let a man and woman no longer work in the first fruits of the holy place. And the people were restrained still to bring. And the supply of works was to them enough for making the furniture, and they left surplus. And every wise one in the thought among the ones working produced for the tent 10 curtains from out of linen being twined, and blue and purple and scarlet being twined. He made them with cherubim, the work of a weaver. The length of the one curtain was 28 cubits, and the breadth of 4 cubits was to the one curtain. The same measure was to all the curtains. And 5 curtains were of one another, being held the other from out of the other. And 5 curtains were of one another, being held the other from out of the other. And he made loops of blue upon the edge of the one curtain, joining from out of the one part for the coupling. And thus he made upon the edge of the outer curtain for the second coupling. And 50 loops he made for the one curtain, and 50 loops he made from out of the part of the curtain corresponding to the coupling of the second, facing headlong into one another each. And he made 50 hooks of gold, and he joined together the curtains the other to another by the hooks, and the tent became one. And he made hide coverings of hair to protect over the tent. 11 hide coverings he made them. The length of the one hide covering was 30 cubits, and 4 cubits the breadth of the one hide covering. The same measure was to the 11 hide coverings. And he joined together the 5 hide coverings to the same, and the 6 hide coverings to the same. And he made 50 loops upon the edge of the one hide covering, in the middle by the coupling. And 50 loops he made upon the edge of the second hide covering joining. And he made 50 hooks of brass, and he joined together the hooks from out of the loops, and joined together the hide coverings, and it became one. And he made an over-covering for the tent, skins of rams dyed red, and coverings of skins of blue above. And he made posts for the tent from out of incorruptible wood. 10 cubits was the one post, and 1.5 cubits the width of the one post. 2 joints to the one post, resting headlong against the other to the other. Thus he made all the posts of the tent. And he made the posts of the tent 20 posts from out of the side of the one towards the south. And 40 bases of silver he made for the 20 posts, 2 bases to the one post for both its parts, and 2 bases to the other one post for both its parts. And the second side towards the north, 20 posts, and 40 bases for them made of silver, 2 bases to the one post for both its parts, and 2 bases to the other one post for both its parts. And at the rear of the tent, by the part towards the west he made 6 posts, and 2 posts he made at the corners of the tent from out of the posteriors. And they were of equal below, and according to the same measurement they were equal from out of the heads unto one coupling. Thus he made to both the 2 corners. And there were 8 posts, and their bases of silver 16, 2 bases to the one post, and 2 bases to the one post for both its parts. And he made bars from out of incorruptible wood, 5 to the posts from out of the one part of the tent, and 5 bars to the posts to the second side of the tent, and 5 bars for the posts to the posterior side of the tent, to the one towards the west. And the middle bar in between the posts penetrated from the one side unto the other side. And the posts he gilded in gold, and their rings he made of gold, for holders to the bearing poles, and gilded the bars in gold. And he made a veil from out of blue, and purple, and scarlet being twined, and linen being spun. He made it a woven work with cherubim, and he placed it upon 4 posts of incorruptible wood, being gilded in gold. And their tips were golden, and their 4 bases were of silver. And he made a draw curtain to the door of the tent of blue and purple, and of scarlet being twined, and linen being twined, a work of an embroiderer, and its 5 posts and their tips. And he gilded their tips with gold, and he cast for them 5 bases of brass.